Welcome to the American Marketing Association's ongoing webinar series on content and online video-based marketing strategies. Today's topic deals specifically with strategies and techniques to help companies connect content marketing-based programs with the ongoing need to generate viable sales leads and new business. This presentation was originally given in July 2012. For this recorded version, we've made a few adjustments just to save some time. My name is James Heckman. I've been working with the AMA for the past 2 years to develop and launch the AMA TV platform, an internet TV channel offering bi-weekly episodes to help marketers keep up with the latest developments in the profession, as well as share some of their own video-based thought leadership and educational content. On the original presentation, I was joined by Dan Stevens with WorkerBee TV, which has been our partner on the AMA TV project, both for video production work and the technology behind the channel. To begin, online content is useful information that you choose to share regardless of format. We typically tend to think of content in its written form, articles, newsletters, blog posting, but really it's independent of format. There's a number of ways that you can share this. Here at AMA TV, we've obviously been talking quite a bit about the growth of online video. In just the past few years, it's grown to surpass the tried and true white paper as a content option for many companies. As we all know, in the marketing profession, if it's not tracked, it doesn't exist. These 4 items here are a number of things that companies will tend to keep track of to see how effective their content marketing programs are. I would love to be able to give you benchmark figures to compare your efforts to what others are doing, but in truth, those figures are going to be different for every industry and even companies within the same industry. Think of these as the minimum of what you should track. Your firm could probably add a few items unique to your experience. Now, talking about the goals of all this, a lead is an individual who's at or near a purchase decision. And note that I said individual. Even in the B2B world, companies do not buy products and services. People do that. So everyone else who's not a lead, therefore, those are your prospects and suspects. In the graphic on the slide here, the green guys are your leads and the orange guys are not, at least not yet. Content-based marketing is about nurturing the prospects and suspects to move them over to be with the green guys. Done right, they'll trust you over competitors, and then you're the preferred resource. To put it in concrete terms, no one wakes up in the morning and says, you know, I'd love to buy some marketing research today. Instead, marketers have a vague sense that they need to understand something better. Why aren't more Hispanics buying my product? Our marketer knows what market research is, of course, but lacks the experience to start well. Surveys, focus groups, in-house visits. Your content should be a guide. Teach them enough to define a real project, and then you'll have a lead to share. So the next key question is, what are you going to say and where are you going to say it? Some of the figures on the slide here will give you some indications of what typical companies will spend based on their company size and based on some of their goals. But really the key point here is that content is not free, and you don't want to just budget for writers and producers. People need to see your content too, and your budget planning needs to incorporate some elements to make sure that your content, whether it's video or written articles or whatever, is getting out in front of the right audiences as well. Develop your content distribution strategy in terms of paid, earned, and owned media. When it comes to content, paid media is actually very similar to the banner ads and advertising that we're used to, except in this case, you are the content instead of being next to it. For earned media, think in terms of getting a mention of your content on an influential blog, or if you're having a really, really good day, think of it in terms of having one of your videos go viral. Owned media are those platforms that you control, starting with your website and extending out to places like YouTube, Facebook, and other sources. Get creative with this. Creating content isn't easy, and it's not just one piece. Consistency beats brilliance in this game. Develop an editorial calendar. Talk to your sales team, and especially talk to your customer service staff. Check analytics for keywords. You'll have plenty of ideas to work with. Now be efficient. Reuse the same idea. Your blog post grows into an article. That article is the source for a video. Take those and develop your next speaking engagement, then record it and share that as well. You create content all the time. Just train yourself to recognize it. Teach your prospects. Share information. If you're worried that you're giving it away, you're doing it right. Don't worry, you can't be replaced with a single blog post or a video. And for the third point here, always provide a call to action with your content. Encourage people to seek out more information. Don't be too eager to sell something or you'll scare off future leads. So I'm going to share a recent experience that I've had with content marketing done right. This relates to a website called Real Men, Real Style, which is owned by an entrepreneur named Antonio Centeno. The Real Men, Real Style site offers extensive content on men's style and clothing. It's part of a content-based lead generation program that ultimately leads up to a company he owns called The Tailored Suit that sells custom-made men's suits and shirts. Now, I have to confess here that I am completely bewildered by the concept of business casual. When it comes time to dress more casually and still look professional, I just don't know what to do. About 2 months ago, I decided to do something about it and learn how to dress better, so I started off going to the high-profile brands that you would expect, GQ, Esquire, places like that. That just doesn't work for me. Those magazines feature people who try too hard. The style advice is for people who want to be noticed for their clothes. Being noticed is fine, but if the clothes are the star of the show, I think you've got a problem. So I turned to Google and quickly came across the Real Men, Real Style site. It's primarily a blog highlighted with a lot of video content and more in-depth articles. For the case study, I'm going to describe what I've seen of Mr. Centeno's lead nurturing system as I find myself moving closer and closer to becoming a customer. And just to be clear, there's no business relationship here. We did not produce his videos. Mr. Centeno is not a client. I've had a brief phone conversation with him a few weeks back just to make sure I had my facts straight for this presentation. Basically, I wanted to highlight this because he's doing his content-based lead generation programs right. Starting with content, what he has is truly useful. It's not teaser content. I could spend some time reading his blog posts and watching his YouTube videos and then go to the store and shop for clothes and get a better result than I would have been able to do on my own. Every piece of content includes a call to action. Sign up for a newsletter, subscribe to the YouTube channel, join his LinkedIn group, download a free ebook. It's a simple, low-threshold first step. Out of the large group of anonymous content consumers, a portion will connect and share a name and email address. Now, they're not leads yet, but it's a start. The next phase is to allow buyers to identify themselves. In this case, Mr. Centeno offers a few lower-cost products and services that offer more in-depth information. For example, there's a $49 premium style course ebook. There's a discount club to various affiliate sites. There's some lecture series. The suspects who pursue one of these items show that they're more serious about the subject, and they demonstrate a willingness to buy. Now their prospects, maybe even leads. The ultimate goal is to move a steady stream of these self-identified buyers to the core custom-tailored clothing services. I'd encourage you to take a look for yourselves. The content is never pushy. There's never a sales pitch. Mr. Centeno uses his content to demonstrate expertise, build his brand, and connect with potential customers. Much of the lead nurturing process that he has is actually automated, so it makes efficient use of his staff time as well. Now, we talked a little bit earlier about measuring results. The steps to a sale are going to vary from industry to industry, and they certainly do here as well. Mr. Centeno was kind enough to share some of the figures that he's been seeing through his system. He starts with a relatively high volume of content consumers, people who read his blogs or watch his videos. Of those, only a fraction actually connect and share a name and email address, and fewer still engage on a more personal level, and at the end, we see basically a few hundred sales per month. However, a content-based lead generation program keeps going. Mr. Centeno is still reaping the benefits of a video or a blog post that he made a year ago. By consistently producing new content and building some automation into the process, he can focus his employee time on the prospects that are closer to that purchase decision and let the content do its work with the rest. It's efficient, it's ongoing, and it never sleeps. In conclusion, content-based marketing can do far more than enhance branding or establish a thought leadership position. It forms the base of a powerful, efficient lead nurturing and lead generation system that will continue to feed the sales process long after the initial investment to develop a particular piece of content. At the AMA, we'd love to help you explore some of these ideas, particularly help you tap into the power of online video to develop your own lead nurturing and lead generation programs. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.